So Ultraman Arc has been going strong for a number of weeks. Actually, what is it? 15 episodes, I think, have been out by the time I'm recording this, which is just over the halfway point. I had written this episode for the halfway point specifically, and then I didn't record it until a couple weeks later, so here we are. But yeah, let's talk about Ultraman Arc about halfway there review. Let's see how we're going, look back, see where it's going in the future, and just share our excitement about this series. Right off the bat, let's just talk about the characters. So we got a number of characters in the show. It's very interesting, and they are at the Hoshimoto City branch of Skip, which is basically like, I guess what this is, I think is kind of like a call center for people with kaiju concerns. That's basically what they're doing. It's pretty local to this area. Well, not the whole organization, but this specific branch, and they focus just on this area. So basically, they take complaints and will need to go investigate those situations to see if, you know, there's higher organizations needing to step up or what they can do. So there's some great characters in it. Starting off, we got Yuma, the rookie investigator, who is our Ultraman. We also have Shu, which is a GDF representative who really likes coffee, in case you're wondering. We also have Rin, who is an investigator and programmer. The kind of like the brains or techie brains of the situation, I guess. We also have Hiroshi, who is the chief, of course. And we could not forget the best character, Yubi, so far, which is an AI support robot, who was developed by Rin. Perhaps one of my kind of gripes with this series, we haven't had many episodes to really develop like these characters' personalities besides like quirks or whatever, or little character attributes that they'll be like, oh, this guy is very serious, so they'll play that off. But he's also likes to have fun, but he doesn't know how to not be serious when having fun or something like that, you know, which isn't the worst, but I mean, a little bit more development would be great, but like it's fine. They're still enjoyable characters, and then they still have little moments where you're like, oh, I can see a little bit of character shining through, and those are the best moments of the show. There's also some really weird visual choices. I'm not gonna lie to you here. Everything is so exposed, and then there's a weird luminescent filter over it. That's what it's like. I'm not sure if they've stopped doing that or if I've just gotten used to it, but I don't notice it as much anymore. So I feel like it's kind of I've just gotten numb to it. But there's still sometimes, like if a character is standing by a window, it's like that good luck silhouette, you know, it's the image is too overexposed. And I get like the diamond imagination kind of feel or whatever that they're going for, but I think a little bit less would have been the best choice. But what, you know, hey, I'm not in charge of it, so it doesn't matter. Like many of these new gen Ultraman shows, we get multiple forms for Ultraman Arc. It's pretty minimalist compared to others. Like, it's still like, yeah, that's a lot there, but some of them go crazy, and I feel like this one's like, all right, we'll keep it on like there's like 3 pieces to the armor. All right, you got the chest piece and then like gauntlets, and then we're just gonna relax from there on, or boots or whatever. And then there was the new one that just came out in I think the last episode as of recording this, and it was pretty cool. I don't remember what it's called though. So there you go. As per usual, the premiere is very solid indeed, and then it's followed by many just fun little episodic adventures for a bit, and we're not really sure what the story is or like what we're kind of doing, but we know that there's a cool monster and that Ultraman just punched it in the face, so thumbs up. There's also some really uniquely shot fight scenes. Like one of them is a one-shot fight scene as it goes through the guy's iPhone as he's recording it, which like crazy cameraman skills. Like bro's flying. I don't understand that, but it's cool in concept and in execution. Actually, it's a very cool scene. Or like POV shots. Like there was one fight scene where it goes into Ultraman's POV as he's fighting the kaiju, and then it switches to the kaiju POV. And it was just super sick. Just really unique ways of shooting these. The halfway point, of course, is a 2-parter. What else could it be at this point? And basically we have an alien Gundam guy that, you know, shows up declaring for Givas. And it's really interesting to see the team try and translate this completely different language, because it's kind of a thing that just like aliens just like speak Japanese, and boom. That's good, because that's all they need. So let's go. This leads to them actually acting on like mistranslations, because they mistranslated the word because they didn't know how the language works, so they're trying to understand it, and they forget that sometimes some languages have different meanings for words based on the contexts. So very interesting. In this first half of the show, there's a lot of fun episodes, but there's some really good standout episodes. One episode I'll talk about is the Internet Canagon episode, which is just so different from every other episode. It is insanely silly. It's probably the silliest episode of Ultraman I've ever watched. It's up there anyway. So Canagon is a digital AI streamer, basically, that doesn't understand spending and the cycle of economy. So it just keeps all the money it's earned and being gifted, resulting in the economy basically.
The economy is in shambles right. Taking the Nasdaq marketplace right.
They have to fix this by Ultraman entering the digital world through a blimp or something, and then defeating Canagon by giving it a new code, which is basically it's Ultraman teaches Canagon how to spend. And it's what? That's beautiful. That's amazing. This is actually a really fun episode because it was so weird and awesome. Another standout episode, which is probably the best episode of the first half, is the Goodbye Reen episode. There's like actual acting in this episode. Not out of any disrespect to this show. I'm not trying to do that. But you know, it's pretty silly, pretty fun, pretty cheesy. That's why I love the new gen Ultraman shows, specifically the new gen Ultraman shows. But my man pulled a Jennifer Lawrence ugly cry here, and it was genuinely a really touching episode. I love the episodes where it's just some good fun, like the Canagon one. You know, they just went all out on making the silliest episode they could, and it's a blast. And lots of these shows have those episodes where you realize, oh, this might be something more than just dumb fun. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a ton of fun, and it's still pretty silly, but there are those moments where you go, okay, they're actually trying to do something here, and it's really enjoyable to see that. And I love these shows for that. But since I am now recording this after we've passed the halfway point, I just want to touch briefly because this show went from, oh, it's fun, to turning into an absolute banger. Oh my goodness. Okay, the past couple episodes of Ultraman Arc have been complete bangers. Complete.
And I know bangers.
We've gotten the background of Ultraman now, and the story of, like, connective story of the show is actually starting to be revealed, and I'm like, it's all starting to make sense now. So Ultraman is originally called Rution. Basically, in his galaxy, a star is going supernova. This is his story. And the government is trying to figure out how to stop it. Basically, a private company comes along and says, you know, we can transport the energy released to another galaxy with a portal that we've actually been developing. And so the government gives this private company the go-ahead, and oh no, the calculations were off, so they're sending the energy to the wrong part of some galaxy, which is Earth. Which, just want to say, it wasn't an accident. It doesn't, like, that. No, that's not an accident, okay? But yeah, I get it. So basically, Rution was sent through the portal to try and stop this portal, close the portal, whatever. But the company, which I can't remember the name, which is cool, or I don't know if it was the company name or the leader's name that they were talking about, but this is basically what it is. It's basically a private company that was hired by the government to do this. And it turns out they don't have the best of intentions. So they sent Kaiju after him, which, you know, led to his battle where he crashes on Earth and accidentally ends up killing Yuma's parents and merges with Yuma to save his life. And now it's all kind of connecting together. In these episodes, Ultraman is also starting to have interactions with Yuma, not just, oh, I heard a voice this one time when I needed to transform, but like actually like they've like sat down together and like talked about stuff, and it's been really great. They expand upon this mirror world that Rution dwells in to communicate with Yuma, and we get more of a sense that these two are like two entities working together rather than just a one-sided display of Ultraman or something. Like, they actually feel like two different people and two friends, and it's beautiful. I love it. But yeah, my final thoughts. So Ultraman Arc has been off to a pretty solid start, and the openings and endings are bops too. But for the first half of Ultraman, it's been fun. It's been fun. Right after that halfway mark, it has completely kicked up a notch. And yeah, I'm very, very excited to see where this series goes from here. Those are just my thoughts. I'd love to know what you think about Ultraman Arc. If you've been enjoying it, or if you haven't been watching it, that's also fine. Or if you didn't enjoy, if you are watching it and you don't enjoy it, that's also fine. Just what are your thoughts? What do you think about it? You know, do you like it? Do you not like it? It's all good. But now, bringing your attention to those subscribe and like buttons, I've been Shin Glassman, and I'll see you in the next one.